Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss the portfolio revision. This will comes after the construction of portfolios. Okay, for the purpose of constructing the portfolios we have some models like Markowitz optimization, portfolio optimization, or sharp models and other things are there, okay, to construct CAPM models, of course, okay, are there to help us to construct the portfolio. Once we constructed the portfolio, we have to revise the portfolio due to various reasons, and there are some models or maybe the strategies we are having to revise the portfolios. In this video we are going to discuss about the revision of portfolio and the strategies for revision of portfolio and various portfolio revision strategies and the reason for portfolio revisions. Okay, let me go into the video directly. Okay, need for portfolio revision. And before going to the need for portfolio revision, what is a portfolio revision? So the portfolio revision is the process of altering the investment proportion in the existing securities, existing portfolios. Okay, so either we are going to buy something new adding up, or we are going to sell the existing securities. Either of these two things will be considered as a portfolio revision only. Okay, what is the need for to revise the portfolio? First and availability of additional fund. For example, if you get an additional fund, you have to you have to invest in the securities. In that case, you have to identify which security invest, or what is the proportion of investment in the existing securities, or something like that. You have to go on. In that time also you are revising the portfolio. And change in the risk tolerance. So you like to reduce the risk. In the sense, you will sell the equity portfolio and invest in the debt portfolios, that is a bank deposit, something like that, that also considered as a portfolio revision only. And change in the investment goal. So you have changed the investment goal from long term to short term, or you wanted to increase, or you wanted to postpone the duration of the investments or something like that. In that case also you have to revise the portfolios. And need for money, sometimes after making an investment, certain need may come, something like a medical emergency needs, like a medical emergency or marriage purpose, or to construct the home. If you want to have the money, you may sell some securities and then take back the money from the investment. That time also you have to revise the portfolio. And the same way, not performing as per our expectation, that is if our investment is not performed, that is portfolio is not performing as per the expectation of the investor, in such case also we have to revise the portfolio by removing the underperforming securities and adding up the good performing securities in our portfolio. And market changes, due to market changes like coronavirus, or maybe some other reasons, macroeconomic changes. Okay, if market prices are going up or coming down, in that case also we have to revise the portfolios, okay, according to the changes in the market. Okay, and or else sometimes you may get good opportunities to invest in well established companies at a lower price. So you are identifying some companies which are discounted in the market, which are available at a deep discount in the market. Then also you wanted to revise the portfolio by adding those securities. Or sometimes you may see that particular security is overpriced in the market. Okay, all of a sudden the PE ratio of the particular security is going up to 800 or 900, or maybe it is all-time high. The securities prices are reaching the all-time high without any fundamental changes, okay, of the company. In that case also you have to sell those companies and then come out of the investment, book the profit. You have to do the book the profit. So in that case also you have to revise the portfolios. Okay, so though there are many occasions we have to revise the portfolio, we have certain constraints in the portfolio revision. Okay, what are those constraints? That is what here. Okay, so transaction cost. So the very often you revise the portfolio, you have to pay more amount of transaction costs like security transaction tax and brokerage commission and all these things. And not only that, the securities more often buying and selling attracts more amount of tax, because short term capital gain attracts 20% of tax bracket, comes under 20% tax bracket, whereas long term capital gains comes under the 10% tax bracket, which means if you sell the securities after buying within 1 year, you have to pay 20% of tax, whereas the same security if you are selling after 1 year, you have to pay only 10% of tax on that profit you earn out of that particular transaction. Okay. Then the next one is statutory stipulation. This may be not applicable to the individual in majority of the cases, but it is applicable to all fund managers and portfolio managers, where for example if a mutual fund manager like to invest in X company, in that case if his total investment in that particular company cannot be more than certain percentage specified by the SEBI. So for example, if it is a 10% in the sense, mutual fund manager cannot invest more than 10% on the particular company. He cannot allocate more than 10% of that the total asset under management to a particular company or particular industry. These all are comes for the portfolio managers, like mutual fund managers and pension fund managers, something like that. Okay. Then the next one, calculation difficulties. See, it is not that easy to identify the overpriced or underpriced securities in the market, and also even you have additional fund, it is even more difficult to identify the winning candidate out of 500 odd companies available in 2500 odd companies available in actively trading companies available in India. Okay, so there are many difficulties are there in the calculation. What is the price of the market? What is the price of the security is readily available. But though the next most important question is whether the price is a fair price or underpriced or overpriced is a biggest question we have to answer. That is not that easy to identify. Okay, so these are the few constraints are there. Though this many constraints are there, the portfolio revision is not unavoidable. Okay, is unavoidable. So we have to revise the portfolio at a regular interval, or maybe whenever it is needed. So when we go for a portfolio revision, we have two strategies we used to follow. One is a passive portfolio revision strategy, and another one is active portfolio revision strategy. Okay, let me see one by one. Okay, first let me go for an active strategy. Active strategy is based on an analysis of the fundamental factors of the company, that is a financial performance of the company and the macroeconomic variable which and all may affect the companies have to be considered at the time of analyzing the company. Okay, at the time of analyzing the performance of the company. After analyzing all these things, we will select the right candidate for making an investment, and this we will do very often. Very often in the sense regularly we will analyze the company and we will add some companies and we will sell some companies. This used to takes place almost on a daily basis. This investors used to be available in the market to buy or sell the securities. But this strategy requires more amount of time, skill and resources which may be not available for all the investors. Specifically for the retail investors, this time and skill may be not sufficiently available for the investors to adopt the active strategy. The frequency of, as far as active strategy is concerned, frequency of buying and selling is very high, so that it attracts more transaction cost as well as tax too. Okay. Okay, next we discuss about the passive strategy. Passive revision strategy involves only minor and infrequent adjustment to the portfolio. This strategy does not allow the investors or the followers of the strategy are not adopting frequent buying and selling of these shares and shares in the market. So adjustment to the portfolio carried out according to certain predetermined rules and procedures. These rules and procedures are known as formula plans. So we have a certain formula plans. That is what next we are going to see. Okay. So what is the formula plan? Formula plan consists of predetermined rules and procedures regarding when to buy and when to sell, or how much to buy and how much to sell. All these type of rules and regulations. These procedures call for specific action, that is whether to buy or sell based on the changes in the security market price. Okay. and it used to this formula plan used to have two different portfolio. One is aggressive portfolio and another one is conservative or a defensive portfolio. Aggressive portfolio consisting equity investments, and a defensive portfolio amount we used to invest in the debt instrument or in the bank deposits. The formula plan specific determined rule for the transfer of fund from aggressive portfolio to defensive portfolio and defensive portfolio to the aggressive portfolio based on the predetermined rules and procedures. Okay, so there are different types of formulas plans are there. We are going to discuss a few of them over here. Okay, the first one, constant Ruby value plan. The purpose of this plan is to keep the value of aggressive portfolio as constant with minimum variations. So the variations are the value of that particular aggressive portfolio goes above the threshold level or below the threshold level, then we will initiate the portfolio revision. Okay, let me assume you are going to invest 1 lakh rupees, and out of that 1 lakh rupees you are keeping 50,000, that is a 50% in equity investment and 50% in defensive, that is a bank account. Okay, so and revise the portfolio, that is threshold level is 20% deviation, which means if the portfolio goes the equity portfolio value goes beyond 60,000 or below 40,000, we will initiate the portfolio revision. Okay, see that is what we have discussed. Okay, so if portfolio value goes beyond 60,000, okay, that is equity portfolio value goes beyond 60,000 due to some market corrections or market changes, okay, we will sell the securities, we will sell the equities, okay, and deposit in the bank. Okay, that is let me assume it is a 10,000. Okay, on the other side, if the equity value goes down like what is happening now due to corona, if the price like that type of environment, if the price of the equity investment goes below 40,000, we will take some amount of money from the bank and invest in the equity portfolio and make it as a 50,000. Okay, which means 10,000 rupees you will take it from the equity, take it from the bank account and deposit in the equity. Okay, so by doing this way, we are trying to keep the amount, the total value of amount invested in the equity as 50,000. Okay, with the minimum variations within 40,000 to 60,000. If any changes in 40,000 to 60,000, we are not going to initiate any actions. But if it crosses this threshold level of 20%, we will change the portfolios, that is revise the portfolio either by buying or selling the portfolios. Okay, so selling the securities. Okay, then the next one is constant ratio plan. This is a replication of previous one, that is a constant Ruby value plan, where in the previous case we have kept the equity value as a constant, whereas here in the constant ratio plan we are going to keep the ratio between equity and debt portfolio, that is aggressive and conservative portfolio as constant. Say for example 1:1 or 1.5:1. The revision point may be fixed as plus or minus 0.1, which means if the ratio goes 1.6, let me assume 1:1. Okay, so in that case, if the ratio goes more than if the ratio between aggressive portfolio and defensive portfolio goes more than 1.2:1, then we will sell certain percentage of securities in the equity and deposit in the bank account. And if the ratio comes down below 0.9:1 due to falling price in the securities, then we will take some amount of money from the bank account and buy some securities. Here also we tried in both the cases, that is constant ratio plan and constant Ruby value plan. In both the cases we try to buy the securities, that is the equities at the lowest price and sell the securities at the highest price. Buy low and sell high. This is what the ultimate aim of this two plans, that is a constant ratio plan and constant Ruby value plan. Okay. Then the third one, that is dollar cost averaging, or it is popularly known as systematic investment plan in mutual funds. Okay, so invest the constant amount of money every quarterly once or monthly once or weekly once or something like that at a regular interval for a long period of time. Okay, so because of this, every time we are investing on 5,000 rupees in the securities. Say for example, we are investing in RIL, that is a Reliance Industries Limited. Okay, 2 months back it was selling 1,300 rupees, and now it is selling around 1,200 rupees, and 6 months back it was selling around 900 or 800 rupees. So when the price of the security is less, you will get a more number of shares, and when the price of the security is more, you will get a less number of shares, but your overall portfolio investment will go up, though the prices are, when the prices are going up. When the prices are coming down, your purchasing ability of that security will increase. That is, number of securities you can add in your portfolio more. Okay, this is good plan for the monthly income people. Okay, that is what dollar cost averaging or a systematic investment plan in the mutual fund. Okay, this helps to reduce the average price per share over a long period of time, but this has to do for a long period of time, not for 1 or 2 years. You have to do, set this systematic investment plan at least for minimum 3 years. Okay. Yes, limitation of this formula plan. Of course, though these formula plans are helping us to identify when to buy and when to sell the securities, and certain predetermined rules helps us to manual errors, helps us to reduce the manual errors, but it is not error. It is not free from the errors. Okay, limitations. So that there are some limitations on this formula plans. Okay. The first one, all formula plans have their limitations. Okay, they are inflexible because see, for example, after investing in a particular security, the prices of the security is going up and it crossed more than threshold level, but still there is a potential that particular security price will go up. You have identified. Okay, but the formula plan demands you to sell and invest in the bank deposits, or maybe divert the fund from the equity portfolio to the debt portfolio. Okay, this makes you to lose the winning candidates. Okay. Then these plans do not helps us to identify the securities which security which supposed to be sold out from the existing portfolio, or which security we have to invest. So this formula plan helps us to identify when to buy and when to sell, or at what time we have to buy or what time we have to sell, but it does not tell us what security to buy or what security to sell. Okay, though it's telling the time, but it fails to tell us the securities which has to sell and which have to buy. Okay, so these are the different formula plans we have in the portfolio revision. Okay, thank you. With this, I hope you have understood about portfolio revision strategies. Thank you.